Let's get ready to fantasy book. Welcome to Two Fuse Wrestling. Make sure you like the page, subscribe to the page if you want to share views about wrestling with us. Anyways, with the rumors swirling around the Scottish hunk Drew McIntyre on if he's leaving WWE or not, we decided to fantasy book what life could look like with Drew McIntyre in the wrestling world outside of WWE again. What's your ideas for it?
So, reading different things, it's like it's either money or it's creative. And I feel like if it's creative, I don't see him going to AEW. I think he would take like a per date booking kind of deal. And for going along those lines, I figured maybe go back to Impact. I think going to Impact would help him because it gives him a couple months away, maybe creative changes in WWE, they can bring him back if they come up with a good storyline. But in Impact, he could really help out Impact. That's a huge star for them. And then uh, there's some guys like I really like Steve Macklin. That's their heavyweight champion right now, and I think feuding with Drew would help him. I like the idea Drew and Nick Aldis would be cool to me. Drew and Moose would be really cool. And then, of course, if he comes back, depending on the timeline, Josh Alexander, I think Drew and Josh Alexander would be epic. And it helps all four of those guys, and it helps Impact at the same time. And then with it being per date booking deal, if he wanted to do some things with New Japan, he could do that. And he's not locked down with AEW, and he's not in this huge locker room where maybe guys are trying to, politic him or overshadow him or whatever. And then if he wants to go back to WWE, he can.
So for me, I mean, it's fantasy booking, so
Yeah,
we can do whatever. I'm hoping he's a free agent soon. I think the best option for him is WWE, so I want him to just do two matches. Just do All In at that Wembley Stadium show against Kenny Omega. I need that. And then do Wrestle Kingdom against Okada.
yeah,
I need that. And then go back to WWE where you're going to be treated as you should be. I like. I feel like AEW would lose him in the shuffle.
yeah,
AEW just they they got some issues. Especially they're gonna try to tell him that CM Punk's a bigger star than him. Fuck
yeah.
that.
That's
Like
what that's what I figured with AEW. I think like Jericho would try to play him. I think Punk would try to play him. I think there's just too many too much drama and politics that go on there that doesn't get reported on for obvious reasons. But
yeah.
in terms of AEW, I'd like to see him with Omega. I like to see him with Wardlow. I'd like to see him and Daniel Bryan. I don't know if that ever happened, but I think that could be a really good match. And then I would love him and Okada.
I just thought him and Okada just would be magic.
Yeah,
Like I feel like Drew is I say that Drew is has that mainstream appeal, but in the sense of the Miz, I think sometimes we take for granted how good those two guys are. I know like, some Miz haters, I feel like he doesn't have any anymore, but
yeah,
would always say like, "Oh, he lacks stuff in ring," but it's like it's okay cuz he's so above and beyond us others in the character department
yeah.
that it makes up for it. Having said our fantasy bookings, though, I think we both probably agree that this is a work. Like he's not leaving WWE.
Yeah, I've been reading different things about it, and I just feel like it may not be a work, but I don't think it's as bad. Like, because if his contract's still almost a year away, I think things could get worked out between then and now and then. So
Yeah, I feel like it's a ploy for him to come back a heel.
yeah,
Cause I just don't think WWE doesn't look at him and think money in foreign markets and be like, okay, look, we have Roman Reigns as a face of the company, then we can go to Cody, and then Drew to me is third.
yeah.
I know you might think Seth's ahead of him or could be ahead of him, but I feel like Drew is pretty safe.
Oh yeah. I mean, even if Seth's ahead of him, he's still a big star,
Yeah,
and
top five for sure.
yeah. And
Like,
if he turns heel, that changes the game for him because then he's not competing with Cody. He's not going against Cody. He's,
His own
yeah, he's
field because he's
all
the
of a
heel.
sudden he's the number one heel. He's not the number 3 baby face.
And him and Cody would be magic in the ring as well. So it's like,
Yeah,
I just think, I think this is a smart move on WWE. Drum up some drama
yeah,
when he comes back heel. And that's the other thing about these reports. They were saying he was wrestling injured, like, because he didn't want to take time off. So, like,
yeah. Well, I read that he wanted to get the match with Gunther and Sheamus. So let him take his time off and heal up and work on creative for him, come up with something for him, and I think he'll end up being happy. I don't think he wants. I wouldn't see him wanting to go to AEW, so that's why I kind of went with the short term booking.
and I've kind of been a fan of the idea of wrestlers having seasons like sports
Yeah.
players where you get some time off, recuperate. I mean, it's a physical
Yeah.
sport, you know, it takes a toll. Let the man relax for a little bit, come back fresh.
Yeah,
So, anyways, if Drew does leave WWE, where do you want to see him? Who do you want to see him work with? Let us know in the comments.